guys? It's your boy Corey.
It's your boy John.
And welcome back to the Artistry Drop, where we feature stories from today's rising artists.
Yes, sir.
If you like being inspired, don't miss out on our weekly episodes, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification to be notified when we drop new episodes.
Let's go.
All right, guys. So before we get into our guest today, I want to say some exciting news super crazy news.
What's the news?
Rachel, you guys know my fiance, she's pregnant. So we are having a baby, guys. I'm going to be a father soon. We just went to our first ultrasound Thursday. But you guys are seeing this later. So this is coming out a little bit late. But heard the heartbeat, saw the ultrasound, and it hit me.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna
He's
be
not
a
grandpa,
dad.
he's a dad
now. Yeah, I know,
now.
right? Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited to finally be a dad. You know, we've been planning this for a minute.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be Uncle John now.
I'm gonna be an uncle.
Uncle John out here. So yeah, super excited. Artistry Drop. We might have to pass on the torch eventually to the future Artistry Drop host.
Yes, I need a kid now. I need a girl first.
Yeah, that's true. Major fact.
Baby steps.
Well, yeah, guys, like
steps.
I said, I'm super excited, and we'll definitely in the future show you guys the baby. But
yes,
anyways, let's go ahead and get into our guest today, guys. Our guest today is a singer-songwriter from Orange County, California. She also dances and is studying entertainment law to earn her JD. Guys, please welcome Amanda Gramm.
Let's go.
Welcome, Amanda.
Yes,
Thank you so much
welcome.
for coming through. Definitely appreciate you coming to the Artistry Drop.
Thank you. I didn't want to pop in randomly, but
I know.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I didn't want to tell you beforehand.
Yeah,
I was trying to let it be a surprise to everybody.
Almost had a little reaction. I was like, oh, they don't know.
No, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're super excited to have you on here.
Thank you.
Guys, we don't have a drink of the day today.
Hey, no drink of the day. I got my coffee.
No,
I'm
you're
being a little
good.
boring.
No. It wasn't even just you.
Oh.
Because we've had other people where they drink water as well, but John will usually sip on a little something as well. But we both got something going on after the podcast,
so
we
can't be tipsy.
Can't be tipsy, can't be buzzing right now. So guys, we
Yes.
apologize for no drink of the day, but we'll get to it on the next episode.
Yes,
but
sir.
anyways, guys, let's go ahead and dive into Amanda's story. So currently you have only 3 singles. One of them you actually just released yesterday, which I did not know.
I didn't work out the timing at all.
Yeah,
It just was
It was meant to be.
Yeah, as soon as it came on, I was like, okay, I got to hear this. Obviously be prepped for the podcast, but that shit is dope. But I want to get into your music. Your music sounds like you've been singing for years. At what point did you decide you wanted to get into singing and songwriting?
So I've been singing probably since in my memory, since I was talking, very young. I wasn't writing my own music though my whole life. I was maybe writing little things here and there that I liked, but nothing ever finished. I was doing a lot of covers and stuff more. I loved singing Adele on my piano growing up. I was a theater kid growing up, kind of, but I could tell that's not what I really wanted to do. I did really want to do recording arts, and I just didn't really know how to get into it. I didn't have anyone around me that was doing that. So it was kind of more just I ended up deciding to do it one day and just starting. I luckily had a friend from dance who her husband was a producer. I started working with him. He's really cool.
Dope.
And it just kind of started. So I started writing when I decided I was going to go in and record something that was my own, and just kind of went for it. And I'm maybe still experimenting with my sound and stuff. So that's going to be something that I guess maybe I'll look back and be oh, I don't know, if that was really my thing. But it's kind of fun doing that, and everyone seeing that, kind of from the start, I feel is cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
So.
On it, like I said, your voice is powerful.
Thank
Your
you.
voice is
Thank
really
you.
powerful, and that's why I was saying, I felt like you've been singing for years.
Right.
At what point though, did you actually get into it? Was it a couple years ago, a year ago? Because you did
recording.
Yeah,
stuff?
recording and starting.
Just in the fall.
Just in the fall.
November.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah, I want to say November. I have to look.
See,
back.
it literally sounds like you've been doing this shit for years.
Thank you so much.
No, I guarantee you, if anybody heard your music, and guarantee you, people are thinking, wow, she's been doing this for a few years. So
that means
you're,
a lot.
Yeah, you're killing it already.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait to see the future for you and what you're going to be doing with your music.
Right.
Did you go to music school at all? Did you get any formal training?
So when I was like really young, I was in piano lessons, and I would kind of tell my piano teacher like, I hate this, and I really want to sing, and she kind of gave me like a little secret like singing lesson at the end for like 10 minutes. So I wouldn't really call that like training, but I knew I wanted to sing. So I would say like my training was a lot of like listening to people I like and trying to almost emulate it, and then I feel like it kind of would all blend into like how I wanted to sound. That funny enough, that's like how I feel like I learned to sing, is like almost doing impersonations.
It's like self-taught.
Not that I sound like anyone, but it's like listening and being like, oh, that sounds cool, and just kind of practicing like what I wanted to sound like similar to that or not. But
I definitely don't think you sound like anybody else. Like you definitely have your own sound, and that's good. Like you know, because there are other people like that literally sound alike. So there's this guy that's upcoming. I don't know if you've heard of him, but his name is Sire, and he sounds exactly like Chris Brown. Like exactly like Chris Brown. At first when I played the song, I was like, is this fucking Chris Brown? And you know, it's not. And that's why I said, you know, it's good that you know you have your own voice, because you want to be known as Amanda.
Definitely.
You don't want to be known as like a girl that sounds like whoever, like Adele or you know or whatever like that. So it's great that you do have just your own voice, and it's one of a
and your
kind.
voice sounds like very mature. Like it sounds seasoned. So that's why we were like, it sounds like you took some like vocal lessons and things like that.
Like I said,
the range is crazy.
Yeah, the fact you have no formal training is crazy to me.
Thank you.
You sound amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
For sure.
And you can hit those ranges. Like
that's what I'm saying.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I was like in choir in high school too, so I guess that's like a little bit of training too. But I just sang a lot, all the time growing up. I honestly probably wasn't even that good when I was younger.
None of us were.
I don't think. Even if I was a singer, I probably would not sound as good.
Please don't.
No, you love my singing. You know, like you know, at this point though, are you learning about music production overall, so you get to know how things work, or are you just so focused on music?
So I really wanted to learn the whole production thing. I think in my lifetime, that's definitely something that I want to know how to do. When my producer's doing things, I'm there the whole time. I try and like watch everything, but I ended up deciding to work with a producer instead of learning myself, just because at the same time I was starting law school, and I really like didn't have. It takes a lot of time. The people that I know who are really good at it, like they really spend time learning to do all that, and so I didn't want to do like. I don't know if I'm allowed to say different words. Okay,
you
I didn't want to do like a really
shitty
job and like kind of half-ass it and it not come out so good. I'd rather put that in someone's hands that like know what they're doing on that end, and then I hope later on like I'll have time to learn how to do that. But I guess people say in a way there's like different kinds of producing. I sit there and I make like weird noises and I like tell them I want it to sound like this, and so I try and be as hands-on as I can with all of that, but he's been really great at like putting what I want and to kind of explain in my head onto the song.
That's awesome.
Dope.
Yeah,
you already have a vision.
Yeah, that's good. And you know, we've talked to other artists that do that kind of thing where they'll like, I forget what the specific word is, where they're like kind of humming and you know they get into it, and then it's but you are going the right route of working with an actual producer, because an actual producer, like, you know, I've seen some people where they just do it on their own, and you know the final outcome just isn't where it should be.
Right.
You know, but the fact you're working with a producer, so he's making the whole beat instrumental and all that.
He does everything. He's
recording.
He plays instruments and stuff too. So that was, I really wanted to work with someone who did know how to play actual instruments, because I go in and we make it from scratch. Like start with a guitar, and it's been really cool just being able to see each. Like, he had, like, an option at the beginning. He was like, if you want me to just work on it, like, you come in and do your vocals and leave. And I was like, no, I want to be there, like, the whole time.
Yeah, 100%.
These are, like, my babies, so.
Yeah. That's dope. Yeah, because, like I said, you know, playing it on, like, the speakers, car speakers, whatever, it sounds so professional. It sounds like it was mixed, mastered by, like, you know, professional. Like, so, like I said, you're killing it already. And you're only 3 songs in. Yeah, so most definitely. You know, your most recent single, ISBTHD, a.k.a. I Should Have Burned the House Down, is definitely one of my favorites. I knew when it came out, I even told you, I was like, this shit is fucking fire. I can't wait to hear the whole song. And, yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. The overall vocals, the production of the songs is amazing. What went into the production of that song writing, and is the song based off like true experiences? Because you go in on that song a little bit.
Right.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't know if you know why that's the title of the song. I don't know if we had been following each other yet when it came out.
No, yeah.
I got like shadow banned on Instagram for it being like violent.
Really?
And it's like I've seen like girls with their tits out on Instagram, and I can't have a song title that like. And I didn't do it. I said I should have.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was like frustrating. So I just changed the title because people were sharing it and like their posts were getting taken down. And I just made it the acronym to like.
Oh no, we have been following each other way before that song has even come out. I was wondering because I knew you had titled it. I should have burned the house down.
I wanted it to say it. I wanted it to be straight up. Like I didn't want to do that.
That goes hard.
Yeah,
it's a hard title for sure.
Thank you. So anyways, though, it was a song that I mean, I would say all my songs have some meaning, truth in them, or I don't think that it would come out as well if I didn't relate or it wasn't based off truth. I think that's obviously very hyperbolic, and like I like music to be that way, where it's almost a little overdramatic, and I think it gets the feeling out extra almost, so that that the songs are kind of how I process emotions I have, so it almost helps in a way that I'm like over processing them. And so with that one, I just like I knew I wanted something to be kind of angry sounding, and I wrote it and did like a demo of it, and I still wasn't sure at that point if I wanted to finish it or not. But then the drummer from No Doubt, Adrian Young, he wanted to be on it. He heard it, the demo version of it, and was like, I want to do drums on it. And I was like, obviously now I have to do it because that'd be really cool. And I did love the song at the time. It was just definitely a little bit more of a riskier early song, I feel like. I didn't know how people were going to like it. So that was kind of when I was like, okay, I'll finish it. I'll do the rest of the song. And I ended up loving the final version of it. So I was like, I'll put this out next. Because the first one was like a emotional, like slower song. So I kind of wanted to change it up early on so that I knew I wasn't going to get stuck in like, okay, I have to do all ballads type of thing. And I wanted people to know right off the bat, like, that I'm going to try different things.
That's fucking crazy. I don't know his name, but from I know No Doubt, obviously.
I loved No Doubt growing up. So that was kind of surreal.
That's crazy having him on there. So did you work with him in the studio on it? Or?
Yeah, he has a really sick studio at his house.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Congrats on that. That's
huge. Big.
Second single really cool. And you're already working. That's fucking amazing. Like,
thank you.
Have you tried getting the single pushed out there more? Because I think this is something that needs to be on like the radio.
I'm gonna be honest, I think that's what I'm not very good at is like the publicity end of things. It's not like nowadays the social media and all that's like so important with releasing music, and I honestly would rather not do any of that. But I feel like I've been talking to people about like other ways that I can get it out there. I definitely feel like it's something that I'm going to be learning, because I going into this didn't really know at all. I didn't have like know how you promote music really. I kind of was just going for it, posting some TikToks, like see what happens. But I mean, it's definitely something I think later on, if other songs like get picked up, we've talked about like re-releasing it or something.
Yeah, that one definitely belongs on the radio.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Sounds so professional. Like I said,
you're so excited.
I'm so excited. Because I'm so mind blown. Like when you just come into your third single, but that's your second single. Like, and you fucking killed it. I think it belongs like on the radio. It just needs to get out there a lot more, and hey, whatever we can even do to help push that song out there, it belongs out there.
How long did you like work on it before you like released it?
So writing the songs themselves, the ones that have come out, actually get written pretty quick. I prefer feeling like a song kind of came out really easily, and then the songs that are taking too long, that's kind of my sign that maybe I just move on to something else. I feel like the first song, for example, I wrote basically like freestyled the hook in my car. I was just like kind of humming, and or I think I was in a coffee shop even, and it just all came out at once. And that's kind of when I was like, okay, this is when I want to like finish, and so I'll go like sit at my piano and finish it. But that one, for that song, it was a pretty quick write. I think I scheduled a session. I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. And so the night before, I was just kind of like messing around, and that just came out. So writing it was quick. And then the production on our songs, I want to say I usually go in once or twice a week for like it really depends on the song, but maybe a month and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending also on my school schedule, I try and get in as much as I can, and usually like he'll send me a pass of it, and I'll think on it for like a week and like what I want to work on next and add to it, and
that's dope. No, that's actually pretty quick, because I would think, you know, it would be, you know, taking a long time. Not only, you know, you might have the songwriting come out quick, but the fact that it has drums and all this producing and all
my
everything
producer,
behind
I
it.
a lot. He's really talented. He's really good at what he
Yeah,
does.
that's crazy, and
crazy.
And how well put together it is. It seems like you've been working on it for like at least a year.
Yeah, that's what I
Thank
was
you.
saying.
Year or two. So like, I'm blown too.
Because you know, we have some other homies, you know, we'll go in their studio and he'll show us, he used to show us like some of his new songs that were coming out, and that shit did not come out for like a year and a half, or I was like, bro, what is it? You know, he's so focused on the production, but like I said, with what you put out, literally, like I felt like you worked on that for a long time, almost the same as him.
Thank
so
you.
yeah, but you know, it is a team, like it's a team effort. So the fact you have a team on your side and able to help you push this out even quicker, it's good. You know, it works out on your end pretty much.
Yeah, it does.
You know, I want to get into the songwriting because, you know, when it does come to songwriting, you kind of answered it, but, you know, most people write fictional songs just to create a storyline of the song. For you, do you tend to write more of the songs based off non-fictional experiences or fiction? And, like, what do you prefer most?
So far, I think everything I write would be based on something real. And then from there, I'll maybe, like... they're not all like one experience. I would say a lot of them have maybe like a blend of different, like whether it's relationships or friendships. Like I think a lot of people will put songs into the context of a relationship, like off instinct. And a lot of times I'll get ideas from like old friendships or things. And so it's not always that. And so it's more like taking those ideas, I like to then make them make sense, and it sounds like it's about one thing. But yeah, I mean, the songwriting thing is still pretty new to me. I wouldn't say I have like a process yet. I guess just when I have an idea, it's more, I do write without anything.
Yeah, no beat or anything.
Yeah, I always like mostly finishing the song. Maybe like I'll leave a part or something for after we make a demo for it. But I like writing just on I try the handwriting thing because it's like... sounds nice, but I usually am on my phone and I just keep notes. I have like 1,000 notes of little lines that I like, and then when I want to expand on one, I'll sit and write for a little bit, and then I'll find chords because I play piano, and then I'll take it into the studio once I have one.
That's crazy, because most people songwrite with the beat already playing in mind. So it's crazy to think that you just songwrite, you know, just like a diary almost.
Yeah. It is kind of like a diary. I think I'm gonna try. Actually, I've been talking to my producer about like if he wants to make anything, and I'll try and like write over something. But I feel like that's harder for me because I feel a little bit constricted to like what's already there. So I feel like with nothing already in my head, I can just like what sounds right, what fits like on its own, and then build around that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So with I Should Have Burned Your House Down, like, was that already written beforehand?
Yeah, that one I wrote, maybe besides the bridge, I think was all written before I went in.
That's crazy. It works so well. Like, I don't know how you did it. Like, I mean, because, you know, like you said, you know, you're working on it like a diary, and, you know, you got to make those words match up with the beat and stuff like that. So did you like did you hum anything in your head? Like,
so I guess it was more he makes the beat match up, and I think it does help that I have like a background with an instrument and something like I understand a little bit like music theory enough to write things so that they fit, and I know like they're gonna be in key and you know all that stuff. I feel like that definitely helps. I feel that makes sense. That it would be kind of hard to do that if you didn't already know how to do that. So I think that helps. We've had a couple like things there. Well, he'll be like, oh, that chord doesn't really fit there that I found, but usually it ends up working out. When we go in. So
no, that's dope.
Yeah, that is dope.
So I want to dive a little bit into your dancing. You know, I noticed, you know, you post a lot more of your dancing on IG, like compared to your singing. Is it safe to say like you started off dancing first?
Yeah, so I'm trying to like transition out of that. I definitely don't dance as much as I used to. I didn't grow up dancing. I was growing up wanting to sing and stuff. It just was more like something I started, I think right when I turned 17, I started dance. And I did it kind of for fun. I also kind of was like, oh, one day if I'm a singer, I want like some stage presence or like, I didn't really know what was going to come out of it. I just was so like, felt really awkward and like I wouldn't know what to do if I was like ever on a stage. So it was more like that, getting the experience like performing and stuff, because at the time, again, I didn't really know like how to start the music thing. And so then I just ended up falling in love with it. I ended up like making a bunch of friends that I love in dance. And so I ended up being like super committed to that for a couple years. And I wanted to be good at it because I was dancing with a bunch of people who had been dancing their whole lives. So I like wanted to kind of catch up. And it ended up being what I loved, not more than singing, that's probably the same. Like they both just became passions of mine. And then I was doing that, obviously like COVID kind of stopped that, and I don't think I got that momentum back ever since, because now I'm switching over to wanting to do the singing thing. And that was kind of the plan all along. So I do love dancing though.
That's dope. Like that you started off dancing, you know, to add on to your singing, even though you didn't really initially wanted to be like a music artist, and then now you're reverting back to your roots almost, and adding both of them together. So kudos to you. You know, I'm a dancer as well, and I notice you do mostly heels. I know your feet and your knees like must be struggling when you first started learning. What was the training process like to get you like conditioned for heels? Because I know it's not easy.
When I started out, I would say I was doing mostly hip hop actually. I went to, so I don't know if you know Debbie Allen.
No, I don't.
It's like the biggest like ballet type studio, and they were doing like a summer hip hop intensive. And I don't know what I was thinking. Looking back, I went to it and I went into like, I could have done the beginner, but then I saw it was like all the kids. And so I went into intermediate and like I had never danced, and it was hard. It was like really rough, but I had fun. And so I was like, oh, even though it's hard, like at least I'm enjoying it. And that's what kind of like made me maybe like a year later want to like go into classes and stuff. And then I was doing like mostly hip hop, some like jazz funk, some heels. I think it was hard. It hurt a lot at first, but I was going to maybe like 6 classes a week at least, if not more, with school, depending on school. But I just like wanted to train all the time because I was really motivated by like, I have really good friends who are just like phenomenal dancers. They're all so talented. And then I joined, I don't know if you guys know David Slaney. He has a company, it's called the Vixens, and it was like I had been dancing with him for a couple years, and he invited me to join that. And so, and I never did like the sorority thing or whatever. So it was kind of my first experience doing like a group with like girls, like something just kind of like to be closer with all of them. And that was a lot of fun. That was like a couple years that I was focused on that a lot. And then when I stopped dancing as much, it's kind of just been like, now my friends are like teaching their own classes, and I like jumping in when I see them doing their thing. Now it's kind of cool to see how everyone's grown into their own space.
And it's dope. You seem like very passionate like about dance. Before you became like a music artist, was there ever a time where you thought about like taking dance as a career?
Not necessarily. I had like maybe like small gig opportunities here and there that I guess would have been fun doing, but I didn't have like the what's it called, like the ballet training and all the like foundational type things that I never really, I feel like took enough time to get into, that like I feel like are really important if you want to be a professional dancer. I don't think it was also something I wanted to do as a job. It was like something that I was having a lot of fun with, and I didn't want it maybe to be so serious. So I definitely started to feel like I was getting like better at it, and all my friends were like saying, oh, is this something you want to like take more seriously? But I think ultimately I always knew I wanted to do the music thing, and then one day when I have like maybe more danceable songs, I really want to be able to hire my friends and work with them and
full circle.
And
that'd be dope. Have you ever taught before? Taught class? Or are you mostly just a student?
I've talked about maybe doing like a beginner class, because I feel like I have a lot of perspective that maybe people don't have starting older. I like learned a lot about how to take classes like a beginner, but I think right now I don't have the time for it.
You have a lot on your plate.
It'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun, but I've never taught a class before.
Okay.
You know, going through your Instagram, it looks like you have been doing like modeling for some time. Like you've been doing it for a while. Is modeling something you had wanted to take up as a full-time gig and maybe like work with an agency?
No, I never even say that I like modeled, but I technically, I did a lot of things, mostly it started with friends. I had a lot of friends who were doing photography and were like, I need someone to like build my portfolio. Can we go do the shoot? And then I had fun doing it for sure, because I actually really like fashion and all that. My dad grew up in the fashion industry, so just like planning them out and going, it was fun. So I was doing that for a while and just posting. That was what I was mainly posting online, and so I would get like little jobs here and there, but I would never really like go the route of like finding an agency and taking that seriously as a career, because it didn't feel right for me. I don't know if it was like the greatest for my mental health. I don't like carrying what I look like all the time. I didn't sit well in that job, and I didn't see it like being a long-term thing for me. So it was more like a for fun thing. I'd work with my friends and that's fun. I'm down for that. But eventually I did kind of like move away from that.
Yeah.
Did you like when you were doing it, like did you land like commercial gigs or?
No, I was mostly doing like I like clothing sites, like friends who were doing clothing lines maybe asked to like model some clothes for them or anything. But it was not something I was really looking into a lot.
Yeah, as a full-time gig.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One thing I noticed I love about your TikTok is like your personality. I think you show a lot of different sides on there, like compared to your IG. And it's like hilarious and dope at the same time. I'm curious to know your relationship with TikTok and how has it helped like your career?
So when I first got TikTok, I remember it was during while we were all stuck inside for COVID. I was just really bored, and for the longest time it had been around for a little, and I refused to download it. I didn't want to get addicted to it and start on the whole like TikTok dance thing. And I ended up getting it because I was missing dance actually. And so it was like, while they were these silly little dances, it was like, well, I'm in my house, like this is more fun than nothing. And so I started doing that. I think I made like I liked doing like the transition videos, like the getting ready things, and one of those blew up, and that's kind of where I got like a following on TikTok. And from there, I honestly then I feel like I didn't take it as seriously as I should have, and maybe like stopped being as consistent posting. Again, social media is not really something I like love doing anymore. It wasn't until I started doing the music thing where it's like, oh, I have to kind of get back on there and be more active. And it's funny, I would post a lot because I was doing like the shoots and stuff all the time, and posting stuff from dance, but it wasn't anything that I was really like putting a lot of thought into. And then kind of right up until the time I started doing the music thing, I was actually in a space of like wanting to delete all my social media. I was just kind of over it. And then I was like, no, I need to keep it for.
Should have burned the house down.
I mean, you need it, like especially with the music thing. Nowadays, like especially for music, like you need it, and you know this is how you make songs blow up. You know, and with TikTok. Being one of those trends where like you can literally make. There's been so many songs that have blown up on TikTok, and look at these artists now. Like I think like Doja
started by blowing up on TikTok.
You know, so and I think it's your time to
that'd be really cool.
I you know like I like you know you said you're not quite sure with how to put the song out there. TikTok I know for sure you can make that song blow up. Like maybe create a dance challenge, create a stitch where like you can sing one part of it and then a person can sing another part. Like that's it's gonna
interactions.
Just a lot of interacting and engaging with it. I guarantee you that shit's gonna.
It's been really cool seeing how people use it. I respect it a lot. I've as much as like I have like my cons of social media that I don't really love. I think it's like a really powerful tool if you're using it for the right reasons, and so I think it's really cool how many opportunities that it has given people.
But it's also a lot of pressure, so I get what you're saying.
It is.
And there's so many outlets that you have to keep up with.
It's just hard. Like with TikTok, you're always looking at the numbers, and honestly I think ever since I stopped doing the types of posts that I used to do, I think my algorithm just like hates me now. And because I'll mostly get likes from like strangers and stuff, but it still won't like push it out. And so I'm just like it gets kind of like, why am I making so many videos to like for no one to see it? But that's the thing, is you have to be consistent about it, and then eventually that's when you least when I had that one TikTok blow up, I was not expecting that to at all. I like posted it. I went to eat my lunch, and then all of a sudden my phone was like blowing up. So it's just one of those things where I feel like you can't take it too seriously, and you just have to be doing it to be like, hey, I'm releasing music, and I hope you guys like it.
And I think that's what you should do. Just utilize TikTok. Like I think TikTok is a big player when it comes to music distribution, like getting the song out there and blowing up. I think it helps big time. So I mean, like I said, utilize those strategies where you either create a stitch where people can sing on it as well, or a dance challenge. I think it's gonna really help. You need to get this song out there. Like, I'm
for sure.
You need to get it out there. In your intro, I did mention you're going to school learning about entertainment law to get your JD. Like, when did you decide you wanted to be a lawyer, and why for entertainment?
I never wanted to be a lawyer, actually.
Your parents?
No, not really. My parents have always kind of, whatever I wanted to do, they're cool with. It was, I guess it was my dad's like idea at first, but it wasn't like pushing me into it. I guess it was, again, like while we were sitting in quarantine, my dad kind of brought it up to me because I think I had 1 year left of undergrad at that time. And he was just like, you should think about it. Like, I think you'd be good at it, blah, blah, blah. And it was more just like I'm not doing anything anyway. So I took the LSAT, which is like the entrance exam to get into law school. And I was just like, I'm not doing anything. Like, let's just see what happens. And he had brought up, like, then it's a way you can always work in the music industry, which is all I want to do, like, regardless of what it is. So it was kind of just like I wanted something to have. I do value like education too a lot, but it's something I wanted to have in case I ever wanted to not even necessarily be an attorney. Like a lot of like managers and agents and stuff have a legal background, and so there's a lot of routes you can take with that. But I just decided, even though I didn't know I wanted to do it, I took the test and then applied places, and I ended up getting a scholarship offer. So I was just like, congrats. I might as well try and go. And now I'm on my last year next year. So it just kind of happened. It was never something I planned, which is like very weird to say about like law school. But I'm there.
How has it been so far? Like, has it been an enjoyment to you, or tough at times?
Struggles.
It's definitely really hard. I would say it's a lot more interesting than other school I've done, especially this last year. I was able to start taking specifically like entertainment courses. So I've definitely learned a lot more where like I don't feel like I did in college, where I'm like, I'm never going to use any of this in my life. Like, this doesn't apply to anything at all. So that at least makes it a little bit easier in the sense of getting myself to do it, but it's really hard. They don't lie about law school. So it's nothing like the Legally Blonde. So
what goes into like being an entertainment lawyer? Like, what does it involve? Like, being a lawyer for musicians,
like an agency, or
honestly,
maybe?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask. But if I were to go the attorney route, it would probably be a lot more transactional stuff, like contracts, negotiating record deals type thing. But yeah, again, I never looked at this as like a plan, so I don't know much about it. I'm kind of just going
kind of hopped in
as I go. I've been talking to like a couple of people who I know like went the entertainment route in law, and just kind of trying to hear all my options and see like what sounds interesting. And hopefully like figure that out as I go, because that's kind of something I've been doing. It is the main thing I'm doing to like my family, but it's a side thing for me.
Well, when you blow up as an artist, you could definitely use that for yourself.
And that's what my dad said. He was like, you don't have to pay anyone to do your contract.
Exactly.
This is a big question now. Like, the fact you're going to school for entertainment law and you're doing music. Like, do you plan to take music as your full-time gig and put law aside, or which one are you planning to go forth with?
I really would like music to be what I do full time. I think I'm just trying to do my best at both right now, and like if it makes sense one day, like I think I will do that. I'll probably, if it's still going well, I'll probably take a little break after school and not jump right into like a full-time legal job. It's something that I more wanted to get out of the way because I knew I would never go back to school if I stopped. And like I'll have that for the rest of my life. I could be old and do law then, but like I won't want to go to school for it. So I just wanted to get the degree over with and have that for forever. And
are you almost done? How much longer?
You got your last year, right?
One more year.
Nice. And then the bar, which is like its own thing for a few months. But
I hear the bar is crazy.
Yeah, it's like a multiple day. I think it was 3, and now they've made it 2 days with like several subject tests. And I know some people who like just went absolutely insane studying for the bar. So I'm crazy. Not excited for it.
Well, you know, I would love to see you take music full time and, you know, see you blow up as an artist, you know, because I know you have so much potential in it. Just your music already. Right. You got to take it full time. Like I
appreciate that. That's the plan. That's the plan.
I would love to see it.
Yeah. I want to dive a little bit like deep. You know, I think social media, like, it can be very deceiving when we post about like highlights of our lives, but we never really talk about like the struggles and the lows and the struggle it took to get to the high parts of our lives. I think art is kind of like an extension of like how we feel. When I look at your page, you know, I see the glam, the modeling, dance videos, the festivals, you out here like killing it. But when I hear your music, you know, I feel the pain in your lyrics, you know, which is total opposite, you know. So I just wanted to know, like, what has been some of the struggles you faced and had to overcome to become the person you are now?
Oh, that's a deep question. Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's kind of why I even was excited to start releasing music. I wanted to show like that different side. And I felt like that was maybe the best way to do it. You can't, like, obviously people feel weird like posting a photo of maybe something sad or talking about something sad, but I feel like when it's in music it's a lot more like digestible. And so I was excited to have like that new way to express like my life, I guess. And so I don't know, I guess I will say I had a very lucky childhood. I grew up with great family, great childhood. I had like family problems too, of course, and then
like everyone does.
All of us,
and so I mean, from there, maybe some things and friendships. I haven't had like the best luck with like girl friendships, and so like I said, I like to pull a lot from those, and relationships. Obviously, everyone pulls from that for inspiration. So
no, like I said, you know, I'm definitely excited to see you take your artistry to the next level.
Yeah, for sure.
And congratulations on, you know, the success that you've had so far with, you know, the singles and stuff.
It's just a start.
It's just a start.
I hope so, yeah.
It's just a start. So we are coming to the end of the podcast. Once again, thank you so much for coming on. Artistry Drop is all about being inspirational to the next generation.
I love that,
whether you're a musician, dancer, whatever it is, we always, you know, want to be inspirational to that next generation. So what advice would you give to somebody trying to be a singer, songwriter, or anybody that actually wants to attend law school?
I think my advice would be to just start, because that was my thing for so long, as I was like, oh, like one day it'll feel right. It's never going to feel right. So you just have to go for it. If you're not going to do it tomorrow, you're not going to do it today. So I think anything you're really passionate about, you should just go for it. You might not be like great at it at first, but that's kind of like why you need to start now, because then you're going to look back in 5 years and you're going to be like, I could have been doing it this whole time instead of starting right now. So yeah, I think that would be my advice.
Hey, there you go. Are there any shout outs you'd like to give to our viewers?
Shout outs? Ooh. Well, I guess all my family, because they're all very supportive of me. I don't want to like list everyone. My producer, I wouldn't have been able to start doing all this without meeting him through, I guess I'll shout out my friend Gabby, because that's how I met him. And all my best friends who have been supporting me.
Shout out friends and family.
Before I have like an audience, it means a lot more, I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah, and now you have us.
Yeah, now you got us.
Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Artistry Drop.
Let's go.
Thank you. Where on social media can our viewers find you?
I'm on pretty much everything. I think is the same handle. It's Amanda_Gramm, GRAMM. And yeah, I'm on Instagram. TikTok is like mainly where I post the most. That's probably the best.
Yeah, and you guys, we're going to put all her links in the description box below, of course. But Amanda, once again, thank you so much for coming on Artistry Drop. Yeah, great episode and great learning your story. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, it's Artistry Drop. If you're not following us on Instagram, you can find us at the Artistry Drop. And if you prefer just listening, you could stream all our episodes on all major podcast platforms. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.